Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the UKLC. We're getting ready to go into game number 3 of the day. It's Lucent taking on MNM. That's their name. MNM at the top of the standings right now, 7-2. Lucent 2-7. So they're in a pretty rough position right now.
Good opportunity for both of these teams in one way or another. MNM to, keep the gap as large as possible between them and the rest of the pack. And, for Lucent, maybe cause an upset. It's it's possible because League of Legends at the end of the day, and MNM have had their off days where they've looked pretty poor, but this looks to be one of MNM's better performing splits, where there hasn't really been this middle of the split slump, which I feel like has sort of occurred this last split and the split before. This time they seem to be probably the most consistent MNM that we've seen in maybe 3 or 4 splits here in the UKLC. So let's see if they can continue that. Lucent at the bottom of the table. They need any win they can get. Obviously, one of the few wins they do have is over Resolve Academy, funnily enough. So maybe MNM get a little bit complacent here. Maybe they get a little bit sloppy, and it gives Lucent the opportunity to sort of pounce somewhere and give them a lead. But even them, MNM have shown a pretty strong tenacity to be a little bit creative occasionally when they're ahead. So even if they're behind, I can probably imagine it being a relatively similar thing where they won't care and they'll just pull the trigger anyway.
Well, we are into picks and bans. We've almost had all of the bans go away. Xin Zhao is going to be the final one from MNM. We've also had the Viego and the Karma from them, and then it's Gwen Nocturne, and the final ban from Lucent will probably be Akali's open. I'm trying to think who else is really good. There's so many good champions. I kind of forget. Viego's banned.
Viego's banned. Go on, keep on thinking. You've got time.
Fresh. Yes, Fresh is. He's normally banned up blue side, to be fair.
Yeah. So Akali first pick. It's my assumption that I think one of the few times MNM have been on blue side, they've just first picked it straight away. And it was Vango on that, with Gdanika on Diana, and they caused absolute mayhem in the backline of majority of the fights. It was a much slower game. I think that was against Bulldog.
That's a champion.
That is a champion. And honestly, if I was Lucent, I would love to see them take the Diana away. Something like Diana set, because it is really, really strong. And give yourselves a good opportunity here, at least compositionally, to deal with it. Lee Sin, not terrible, but it's still not. It's not as powerful as that set.
It's not Diana set though, is it?
It's not Diana set, is it? So we'll see what Trinket is willing to pull out as well in this rotation. Lee Sin, obviously, very, very good at dealing with Carly in lane, and just in general can be very, very good as a weak side top laner or a strong side top laner. As Tristana, being the hover, could be the lock-in as well. And that would round out 2 potentially very strong solo lanes. Of course, Tristana can still be left to the bottom lane.
What happens if MNM just they forsake their bot lane and just go set Diana here? Like that, I don't feel that's a bad rotation, because you're going to put the Akali in the mid lane.
The thing is, Aragon plays set. Yeah. We know Gdanika plays Diana.
Yeah. I feel like
there's one half of that. And I would imagine Joppa's got a very wide champion pool, because we've seen him pull out. Okay, that's along the same lines.
Not as explosive, but
I can live with that. And if you think about it like this, they're actually picking the counter to the set potentially, and also the counter to the Lee Sin. If they can just chuck the Renekton into the
oh, hello.
Ooh. Okay, it's a fun pick, but I do have my concerns. I'll wait for the draft to sort of be rounded out, as Veigar definitely can change things. Lucent, whatever the entertainment organization here in the UKLC at the moment, they just want to provide us with good games. They don't care if they win. They don't care if they lose.
Yeah, I mean,
they're just here to give us interesting champion picks.
We've seen Monrobo actually pull out the Malzahar last week as well, or earlier this week, sorry. So he's willing to experiment. Now, the thing I actually really like about this Veigar into MNM's comp is they're all very short range.
Yeah,
they got very good at just going, you can't walk through here. The cage goes up, and eventually you get so much cooldown reduction, but actually that cage is up so much that you have to find blast cones or even a shuriken flip over the wall just to get over that wall to be able to get into his face. He's really good at making these choke points even chokier, basically.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Removing a lot of supports, a lot of bottom laners in general. Galio, Braum, Rakan, and Kalista all removed away from both sides there. Trying to figure out what MNM are maybe looking at. Potentially an Alistar lock-in is my read on it. I'll have to see though.
It's Veigar support.
It's potentially Lucent jungle as well, don't forget.
Oh yes. Of course.
So yeah, loads of flexibility here. I'm calling an Alistar support, I think, with those bans. I'm not entirely sure, but it's either that, maybe Leona also, the two that come to mind here.
Nautilus as well.
That want to be picked up. Yeah, these are good bans for Nautilus. They're just good universal bans for removing away defensive options for aggressive supports. And with that, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see Joppa go something super aggressive like Samira, just because he does.
Yeah.
Tend to like that kind of stuff. That being said, MNM, they are a little bit short on the scaling side, and there's a lot of scaling on the Lucent. So
there's a lot of scaling.
Yeah, so we could see something maybe a little more middle ground as opposed to super aggressive in the early game. Maybe something like Varus, because Varus is still up, but they actually lock in the Jinx. Joppa feeling quite confident here. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a tricky game to pilot that one, but honestly, we've seen Joppa and Clock's mechanics check loads of bottom laners here in the UKLC, so excited to see him pilot it nonetheless. And let's see exactly what we're going to get here out of Lucent's final pick, because it's a wacky draft as what feels like always. It's going to be the Taric, and that's a lot of, healing, loads of sort of terrain scaling off of the event horizons of Veigar, the baby cages, healing, vulnerability, all of that stuff, CC, knockback. MNM's divers might have a hard time of this if they don't get ahead in the early game. There's genuinely room for this to be a bit of a tricky game for MNM coming out of the draft here. I'm very interested to see how Lucent are going to pilot this composition though, because I think it's like a banter comp. Like it just looks funny to look at. But there are genuine merits to this composition. The top side, it's going to be relatively hard to bully out the Mundo. Lucent has decent options when it comes to setup in the bottom side and in the mid lane. Lucent have a couple of avenues here into this game in the first 10-15 minutes that I don't necessarily feel like, unless handed the opportunity, MNM do. So I think there's room for Lucent to maneuver the early game. But that being said, MNM, even if there is something like, sort of big, what we would consider draft differences, they still kind of don't care from time to time. So I think we're in for a pretty interesting game. I'm hoping we don't get necessarily the same stomp that we got out of the first time these two teams met.
I think that's the big thing here is if Lucent don't give up loads in the early game, they actually have a very good comp that will be able to go toe-to-toe to MNM. I mean, looking at this comp, you've only got Jinx for range. Veigar, so good at shutting down any of this. You can put the cage if you're getting flanked on behind you, and then you just walk forward. And, if you do get flanked and you do get jumped onto, you have the Cosmic Radiance to basically buy time for Accident and Monrobo to either reposition or blow someone up to get a numbers advantage in the fight. Sotsy is going to be really obnoxious on the Mundo. We saw, on the second day of this week, the Mundo come out. We also seen Kerberos play it over in the NLC. It's a champion which is incredibly oppressive. And I feel like Lucent have the tools to make this game work, but if this game runs away from them, you got an Akali, got a Diana, two champions that will giga snowball, because that's the only way I can describe it, and you'll just be one shot before the Cosmic Radiance comes down. You'll be one shot before the cage spawns. So we'll have to see how this is going to go, as I've just noticed that Mundo has chromas on his skin, and it changes the color of his car. That's amazing. We'll be getting into the map fairly soon, though.
Yeah, I don't... you know what? I think I have an idea on how to maybe fix the parsec thing. Because I don't have the clean feed. Unfortunately, I only have the stream feed.
There it is.
It makes me a bit
it's
sad.
Pink.
It's pink. Oh my god. All right, I want to listen to win.
Look, he's drifting around.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
I love it. And they're all stacking up in the bottom side. They're looking for something here, potentially. It feels like, in contrast to sort of the first week, 2 weeks, we've seen a lot of teams, fall away from this level 1 sort of meta of the lane brush ward. Sometimes you still see it come out. I'm sure someone will put a ward down as they leave here, but it feels like we don't always get to see it. There you go.
Drifting around the map on his car.
Drifting around.
I love it. I actually love this skin.
It's a damn good skin. As speaking of which, isn't this the skin that you said you don't like?
I don't like
edition?
this one. I mean, I don't not like it. I just think the base version of it is nicer.
Yeah.
I think base KDA Akali is nicer. The purples and the blacks.
Yeah, I mean, purple's my favorite color, so I can get behind it. Oh, they all color coordinate because he's got the prestige. Oh, okay, clocks.
2 prestige skins, and then there's a Hextech in the top lane for Aragon on the Renekton.
Ah, I see. On mid jungle, they're still top. One of the most important duos in the game. So let's see how MNM are going to pilot this one. Because again, I feel like honestly, Lucent have a little more versatility in the early game and how they can approach some of these skirmishes, some of these fights. Whereas for MNM, it's going to be a bit of a slower one, which is something that's not typically synonymous with MNM. Just because of the nature of some of their champions. Akali wants to wait until 6 at the very earliest, unless you can find some really bonkers skirmish for whatever reason. Of course, first item spike's very important as well on champions like Diana. Jinx needs to be online. Aragon probably wants that Gore Drinker or Stride.
Dazzle's going to go down, and the level 2 has been hit by Lucent. Although Joppa, with the rockets, is able to pick up most of his farm anyway. Unfortunately, we have a pause, so we're coming back. What was that question Viper gave you, actually?
Oh, yeah. So
yeah, that's a good time.
Yeah, nice time. I'll pull it back up. Would you rather, and this is for me, so it's not really for you, unfortunately. Would I rather shave my head or have a 10-minute pause every game that I cast for the next 3 years?
Shave my head. Shave my head.
It's a bit different for you, though, isn't it? Like, your hair's not.
No, the thing is
you've had it pretty
bald
short.
Marder
before.
looks good. I would not look good with no hair.
Yeah, that filter does make me potentially look pretty damn nice.
You got the beard and stuff. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I could grow a beard, but it just I wouldn't look that good with it. I'd look like an egg. I'd have to grow a beard.
Do you know actually? Do you know who looks good with like shaved head?
Munch. Oh, Munch, yeah.
Because remember he shaved his head for charity a couple of months ago.
He did.
And then he just decided to keep his hair like that because it just actually surprisingly suits him. Yeah, Orcs as well. I remember when Orcs shaved his head. That was pretty. What did he do that for? Did he just shaved it because he was?
He just shaved it because it was lockdown, and he just was like, screw it, easy way to look after my hair. It looked pretty good on him. You know, I have a story about Munch.
Okay.
So back years ago when he used to do UKLC, when we were back in the bedroom, he used to stay at my house after the show. I live like a 30-40 minute drive roughly from like, it was about an hour's trip roughly with trains and things included to get to the studio, so it wasn't too bad.
Correct.
And Munch used to stay at mine because he doesn't live anywhere near London where the studio used to be, and he used to come over, and one time he turned up, and by the way, Aragon's getting beaten up by Sotsu. Okay, don't worry, it's done though. And he turns up to my house and he's like, hey mate, I need to have a shave. I'm like, sure bro, go have a shave. He goes and has a shave. I go into the toilet after he's shaved, and he hasn't washed anything up. There's just beard hair all in my sink. I'm like, bro, what the hell are you doing? I've never brought it up with him. I need to bring it up with him the time he did that. This is very back and forth. Oh, Gad.
Yeah, Gad's here. Ooh, Flash Force. I mean, they could force him off the wave too. Trinket started on the top side of the map, so he's not available for this one. And Gdanika was pulled off his jungle clear to come and make this happen. But honestly, I mean, look at the wave. Sotsi's missing, so pretty nice there. And talking about the versatility of some of the angles Lucent can actually attack here. This is one of them.
Shroud is such a powerful tool. Oh! Trinket catches the kick though, and Vango just gives him a couple of empowered autos from the passive.
Not the end of the world there, as Teleport comes back down from Aragon in the top side, so looking to maybe just keep the pressure going. Gdanika also took the Krogs, but yeah, that's kind of... Yeah, I always clean up after myself when I shave.
Yeah. Most people do.
Yeah.
Munch didn't.
Reason Munch didn't. Yeah, because I remember one time I didn't, and my old man kind of didn't appreciate it. And yeah, from then I've always cleaned up after myself.
I've always tidied up.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just a clean person.
Sotsi is getting really bullied up here, but this is the kind of thing you need to do to him though in the early game before he scales. Realistically, so he's going to miss out on a bunch of XP.
Oh, hold on, that's a lot of damage. They come in and God, flashes with the Lunar Rush to secure himself first blood in the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, MNM, this is straight bullying. Slotty's got no teleport. He's got a wave. He's going to miss all of this CS. Aragon might even pick up this plate here. Not might, he will. If he wants to shove in this wave, he can. But honestly, I'll leave it, to just slow push back in. I mean, the damage is done. Aragon's level 5, almost halfway to level 6. Slotty's level 3.
It's rough. It's going to be rough for Sotsy now.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deficit to come back from. And honestly, we saw some of the damage coming out from this next one as well. PTA, it's not Conqueror. So if you've got that Ruthless Predator stacked up with Fury, it's a lot of burst to be had as Trinket's going to face check here into Clocks.
Oh, Clocks is going to find him. Hasn't really got anyone with him, though, so...
Okay, he's not going to do it, but wouldn't it be funny if he still won?
It would be hilarious, but then Trinket would probably get a kill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really funny when you realize you took 80 gold and you gave him 300. Yeah.
Clocks does it and just says, Math was never my strong suit. Oh, drop a Mr. Cannon. It's over. Game lost. There's it's going to be a really rough ride now for this Mundo, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
top side. He is level 5 now, but you can see, like, just the trades, they're just not that favorable, like, at all. And without flash, Aragon also has flash, so I mean, he can honestly look to all in him on the next cooldown rotation, actually. If Sotsy walks up, doesn't play off the cleaver range, I think Aragon's just going to E-flat.
It's just flash, Dominus, slice, dice, and
yeah,
he invested in the wrong stonks.
Yeah. The wrong coin. Wrong coin, Sotsy. Poor corporate Mundo. As Gdanica on the bottom side, with winning top side, is also doing the dragon because he's got bottom lane and mid lane priority right now. So isn't really too fast. Trinket just ate that trade, I think, underneath the tower. And that's a scary crocodile up in the top side. Now, there's a lot of peeling tools available to Lucent in the mid game. However, there does certainly come a point where that lead in the top side is going to become overbearing. And I feel like it's also kind of approaching... What's the term? Not terminal velocity. When it's to do with weight?
When it's to do with weight?
Yeah.
Maximum capacity?
Yeah, sure. You know what? We'd use that. I don't think it's that.
Terminal velocity, I actually think, is the right one. If you're gonna...
I mean, in terms of speed, that means like terminal velocity is when you're traveling at the fastest possible, like, if you're dropping. Yes. Like, the gravity or something. I wasn't always that great at it.
It is the maximum speed you can achieve while falling.
Yes.
That's what terminal velocity is.
Yes, there you go. So yeah, if nothing's done, I mean, honestly, at this point, I don't know if anyone can deal with the Renekton. If Lucent shows up, I feel like Aragon might just 2v1. This Renekton is that strong at the moment. He hasn't based on that previous solo kill, so he's probably got a bit of gold in his inventory, probably close to like 1k, given how accelerated he's been so far. But Sotsy only now hitting level 6 as Aragon going to go over to level 8 on the next melee. So Gdanica, MNM in general, just a really great early game plan. The rest of the map is scaling. And Lucent haven't really found much of an in anywhere. They tried to attack Vango. That didn't quite work out. The Akali was able to slip away.
Nice little dazzle, but great little hook as well, just to pull that one off. And Joppa's just going to hold the wave here. He's quite happy. Trinket wasting a lot of time down in this bot lane.
Yeah, and
has got the insec available, but MNM just aren't given that opportunity. He goes in for the flash, he goes in for the kick, and Joppa just flashes instantly back out. The Cosmic Radiance is going down to get the dazzle off, and Little Pants is indestructible now. That's going to be the kill for Excellent.
Yeah, it was a little bit slow. It almost felt like Joppa might walk out, but flash dazzle from Little Pants enough to knock him up. But on the top side, I mean, again, waves being denied from this Mundo. He walks up and they just kind of hurt him. Vango was here, but honestly, I feel like...
That's the spell shield down. That's the spell shield down. They've got the dominance. They've got the follow-up. Aragon slowed down by the infected Bone Cleaver as the maximum dosage will heal. But Gdanica will Lunar Rush to get the kill. You can kill bot side, but your top is doomed.
Yeah, top is so damn doomed. Gold... Oh my god, 1.6.
Oh my lord.
1.8.
You know, going back to your terminal velocity.
Yeah.
You know you can drop an ant out of a plane and it won't die.
Yeah, it's to
Their
do
terminal
with
velocity is
because
so
they're so
low.
light.
They just don't die to falling.
Yeah, it's
Full
like,
damage isn't a thing for ants.
No, full damage isn't a thing. Oh, Dropper being jumped onto again. He's going to be safe, though. Yeah, it's to do with, like, the size of things. You know, like, if a cat... Because a cat... I don't know, how much does average cat weigh? Like, a couple kilograms at most, right?
Yeah, no.
Well, I'm not going to say you toss a cat, but if a cat jumps, 2 stories high out of the building, at worst, they might sprain something, right? But it's probably not going to hurt itself seriously.
Well, cats also are designed to jump.
They're also designed to jump from.
Yeah.
So it's maybe
a bit
poor
different
choice.
from an ant. An ant
Okay.
doesn't weigh enough.
A frog. Like if a frog jumps off a building that's like 2 stories high, it's probably going to be okay because it doesn't weigh.
Yeah, I assume it's okay.
Because it doesn't weigh that much. Whereas if you or I jumped off a building from 2 stories high, we're currently going to like break an ankle or something.
But a frog and clocks.
Oh, clocks.
You're dazzled. You're locked down. You're rooted. You're kicked. Clocks is going in. He's bringing in the backup though as they've got Vango here. Got himself the ulti. He's going to slide into Trinket and the rocket will secure the kill. Dazzle goes a little bit wide and the traps are laid down. It's here's Gaddanica. Over the wall he goes. Moonfall will not do enough to get the kill as they get the Buster shot back as well. And Robbo with the Eye of the Horizon or whatever it's called. It's able to zone them off. Event Horizon, that's the one.
It's okay. We got there in the end. Herald drops in the bottom side. Softy trying to do his best to maybe make it back to the south, save his AD carry. Oh, Vango.
Run, Vango, run. The flashes come out, but Robbo not going to get it.
And now Excellent's in trouble. Excellent's got flash though, so if he wants to... Oh, the cone's here.
Chad's on the other side. It's Chad Annika, baby. Sliding in, gets himself caught out for the moment as he's now got that shield to work with, but he is popped by the primordial burst as Vango teleported back into the fray. He doesn't have the ultimate available. He's trying to buy his base, but he's on the wrong side of the map as a briefcase will land into him. And Trinket looking to follow up and finish up this kill. The Dazzle goes a little bit wide and Vango doing a lot of work, but Excellent will take him out.
Yeah, Vango almost took down Trinket. Just because Akali is a champion. But yeah, a really crazy fight there where honestly you can say Lucent walk out of that pretty happy. Excellent is 201 now. Veigar picked up a kill as well. Even though, placement down kills are traded, I think when you're talking about the potential position that Lucent were about to find themselves in because of the top lane deficit, finding a skirmish like this is pretty good.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, this is the point where you talk, bro.
I know I handed off, but you can... Okay. Look,
basically, MNM got greedy. They got way too greedy.
Yes,
and
MNM got very greedy.
I think we need to come out of this replay, to be completely honest, because Dragon's getting secured. Doesn't look like they're actually going to contest it, so it doesn't matter. The rocket did go down just to check. But yeah, Vango then overstepping, teleporting back into a play, and as we zoom and see him die. Everfrost has now been finished up for Mon Robbo, so you thought his CC was going to be obnoxious. It's just gotten so much worse. And a champion that gets AD AP constantly, now getting an item which gives him extra AP per mythic or legendary, could be in trouble. He gets caught out with a moonfall, but a great Everfrost as not going to get caught out thanks to that Event Horizon. Do you know what Event Horizon is?
It's the thing in the black hole, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's the last point where light can escape, where you can't see anything, basically. It's the end. It's basically like the finish line, but kind of not.
Yeah, I've been watching a bunch of like space physics type videos recently on YouTube.
Just Brian Cox.
Not so much like up that alley, but yeah, space is scary.
Have you just been watching Alien? Is that what it is?
No, like just different channels that happen to cover a bunch of like space stuff.
Oh, the Aliens guy.
No, the Aliens guy. There's it's like a computer voice. I don't actually know what the name of the channel is.
Oh, is it a YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's like a Blue Brain
or something.
Oh,
right?
Kurtzkazar, I think.
Yes, Kurtzkazar. Is that it?
Yeah. That's a good channel.
They're a good channel, yeah. Honestly, I love like sciencey YouTube channels. I watch a guy called Stuff Made Here, and it's a guy who he has like a whole bunch of like machining tools, and he's really good at designing stuff. And he just makes stupid stuff. He made a basically a bullet-powered baseball bat. Because you can get these hammers which have explosive charges, and they kind of look like bullets, and you put them in. They're basically gunpowder loaded, and when you hammer them, Joppa himself getting hammered here is they're going to use the to buy a bit of space, but he's taken down. The Buster Shot won't save his life, and Little Pants now he's getting chased onto. The healing won't be enough as Trinket's making his way in, comes in with the dazzles there, and they actually follow up for a little bit more. Trinket flashes forward, the Moonfall pulls him back in, and Joppa free firing away. Glocks gets the kill, and Little Pants is able to escape.
Little Pants walks out. Trinket thinks he can potentially find something on the back of the trade. Fortunately for him, commits a little bit too far forward, looking for Joppa. Didn't realize still had heal. Gdanica would have walked into Little Pants if it weren't for that control ward. But Monrobo now here, ready to potentially find him. Doesn't have move forward, does have flash.
Ooh, able to jump away.
Yeah, and he'll probably get the blue buff if he wants it. But decides not to stick around. Had the smite. Definitely wouldn't have lost the fight with Trinket off the map. But yeah, I mean, Lucent looking for the engage. I feel like they can potentially burst Joppa down. I think just a little bit mistimed between the dazzle and the rocket jump if it happens a little more in a more cohesive manner.
Yeah.
Certainly could have found the CC, but unfortunately Accident just gets bursted down. Trinket comes in a little bit too greedy. That was that. But yeah, space stuff is cool anyway. Back to that.
Space is cool. But yeah, these hammers, they're literally basically gunpowder loaded. And when you hammer with them, they literally kind of explode and it adds extra impact. So you hammer better. And he basically pulled one of those hammer things apart and loaded it into a baseball bat. And then when he hit, it would set it off and then give the extra impact. And he beat the home run record with it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, technically not official because he was using a gunpowder loaded, like machined baseball bat designed for it. The big problem he had was he kept breaking the balls because he'd hit them and the balls would explode.
Bro, baseballs are like tough as well.
They're leather, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good channel. Stuff made here. Like, honestly, really good. The guy has like little to no charisma, but somehow it works.
I can respect that.
I love it because I think the thing is it works because he doesn't try to be like, he's not like, hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. He's just like, I thought I was going to make a baseball bat, so I did it. That's kind of all he does. It's so good. Let me know on Twitter what YouTubers you've been watching. I'm curious.
Yeah, what kind of content do you guys get up to if it's not League of Legends related? Or
I don't really watch that much League. Do you know how bad that is? I don't really watch that much League YouTubers.
I mean, okay, here's the thing though. I feel like League content, generally speaking, is probably in the mud of it. Because it's like, I don't know, when I first joined...
Oh, no. Oh, so much CC. He gets kicked out to safety. Vango's alive. Oh, no. That was an interesting turn to play.
Yeah, just, oh my God.
Ah! What is going on in this game? So if you wonder why we're talking about YouTube,
it's because wacky stuff like this just happens. And look, Lucent, they're just playing to scale, right? Just so we're clear. Maybe we'll update this every 5 minutes or so unless we start to get consistent action. Lucent, they're looking to scale. MNM, they played a really solid early game in this top side. You can see the CS difference between Aragon and Sotsi on our screens. 50 is the number. Goldie's still humongous. And honestly, if they try and 2v1 Aragon right here,
yeah, I think Aragon might win.
Yeah, Aragon might win.
He actually wins.
So yeah, if you're wondering why, that's why MNM, they've been pretty slow, which I would say it's a criticism that we've had of them over the last couple of games, but it's just more our character to the MNM that we normally see. As I say that, Herald looks like it's going to be placed on the bottom side, or maybe they just forced the tower. It's so damn low.
Yeah, I think...
And they could go to tier 2. It depends on how they're feeling. We'd had the gold shop. I don't know what kind of gold job is staying on because he's been on that Kraken Slayer for a very long time.
They're definitely toying with it.
Yeah, they're toying with the idea. So he's on 1.9k. So I think realistically, the better call is to just kind of reset. Just because you've got so much gold to spend on your AD carry and the support as well. That's a complete support item. And then you look for one of those side lane towers because you've still got 2 minutes on the Herald. And if you make the play right there, a lot of the gold that they're sitting on is a majority of the gold lead that they currently hold over Lucent. So
I mean, you could also crack mid lane as well.
You could crack mid lane, which
open
honestly,
up the map entirely at that point. Obviously, you don't get the same gold you do from those tier 2s, but cracking this open kind of shuts down Monrobo's safety in this lane because he's able to play pretty open this lane just because of the fact he's got a tower behind him. But if this tower goes on someone like a Veigar with no mobility, if he doesn't get himself a good cage off, he's just going to die.
Totally agree. So it has to definitely be a little bit careful. But yeah, MNM, loads of options. I'm a pretty big proponent of these side lane towers because I think it's such a massive cash injection. It's basically the equivalent of, you know, taking that final plate off of the first blood tower for a tier 2 tower now.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of cash to inject. I think in a game like this, strong argument to maybe try and take the mid tier 1. Just because Veigar's in the game and, you know, the longer he scales, the more AP he gets, the more obnoxious his wave clear becomes. So I'll have to see. I mean, they dropped it. They dropped Herald in the mid lane. There you go. All right, so that's the answer. I'm going to crack open that mid tier 1. Or at least get it as low as possible. Vango potentially a victim of a gank, but Trinket more interested in his Gromp for now.
Oh, but little pants, he's able to flash away.
Yeah. Flash out.
Vango,
however.
Yeah, I think he might be in trouble. Gets instantly kicked back, has that Shuriken flip, jumps away, gets for the flash, but the Blood Force Trauma will secure the kill. As Gox needs to be careful, caught out. He's not moving.
He's dead.
He doesn't get to play League of Legends.
Oh my god.
So it's Everfrost plus you know, the Event Horizon
Dazzle.
and everything. Nasty.
This is, you know, another bit of swing of gold in favor of Lucent. They find a side lane. Okay.
They're doing it. They got a Monday. They can tank it.
They can do it. I think MNM has to return here right now.
Rocket plus Moonfall onto 5 would be absolutely disgusting here, but Monroe going to look inside that. That is absolutely disgusting. Everybody's invincible, and they've still got to find a bit more damage. They've got the rockets, they've got the damage, the Buster Shot's coming out, and Excellent has to jump away. The Kraken Slayer proc won't be enough as the Baron has been picked up. Lucent just trying to get out of the pit, but Soxy will be sacrificed. 2 kills picked up for MNM, but Baron for the side of Lucent.
Honestly, well played to Lucent. They find the opportunity to take the Baron, they do it. Godonica flashes into the Event Horizon. Even if he gets the Moonfall off, I feel like Lil Pants actually had that Cosmic Radiance channeled at the correct time to potentially avoid the massive AoE that could have happened, because they were actually all bunched up too. As MNM on the back end, they'll take this mid tier 1, but honestly, pennies in comparison to dropping the Baron at a moment like this. As on the bottom side, Vango, you know, another overextension being caught out on the side lane. It's not been an uncommon thing to see this split so far. Clocks, however, just kind of a little bit too far up. I don't think there's enough vision for him to be up behind the pit here. It doesn't warrant the positioning, in my opinion. And then it's just a great Event Horizon, but also Gad just misjudges his flash. Flashes into the stun.
Into the stun.
And the worst part about it was the Cosmic Radiance was actually a little bit, not necessarily delayed or late, but the Moonfall probably would have gone off just looking at it now in the replay. And that's a bunch of AoE damage. You imagine if a Jinx comes in here with so many low HP targets, it's a reset city, but doesn't manage to find it. And now Lucent, they've got a couple of members of Baron still up. Vango, however, has found himself a pretty nice looking flank.
But you are seeing the power of this Veigar. Godonica, he's now caught out. CC is going to chain in. Trinket comes in for the kick, and they're able to get the ultimate off. No, the Primordial Burst is blocked by the stopwatch. And that's now down. So you don't have to worry about Veigar just popping someone, and they've still held this mid lane tier 1, so MNM still got this point they can play around as Vango's still sitting in that flank. Can he find the opportunity to find a one-shot? They know this Dragon's being done. They've got the vision. Dragon's going to get picked up. There's not really too much more they can do about that, and Vango has to be so careful.
Oh, no.
Oh, he dodges away the dazzle, jumps over the wall, finds Trinket for the moment. Trinket ward-holds back in.
What?
Vango jumps into the fray. And MNM desperate to find their opportunity. There's the ulti by Vango, the killer instinct. Hook lands onto Soxy, not the person you want. And a beautiful cage by Von Robbo shuts down anything MNM want to do. As the dazzle comes down, it's stars in their eyes. Only Vango stands.
And it's all coming together for Lucent. Honestly, these team fights, they're looking so one-sided. And again, we spoke about the scaling aspects of this composition. I know we've been very nonchalant on the cast for the last 15 or so minutes, but it's because it's been so slow-paced. But eventually now Lucent, they've gone to these IM spikes where Monroe, he's got the death cap. You've got Excellent on these 2 IMs at the moment. But I mean, sure, you've got the iron spikes on the opposite side for MNM, but they've just not been executing any team fights properly. They've not really been able to find any angles. They've not been able to blow anybody up, and a lot of it is in part to how obnoxious this Veigar is with that Everfrost, with the cages. It's just been a consistent thing here as you see, look, the cage stuns up 2 of the frontliners. They can't immediately come in here, potentially look and help Van Gogh on the flank. And just a bit of an overcommit here in general. But again, look at this next event horizon from Manrobo. Look who it stuns up. Joppa and Godonica both. It stops Godonica from engaging and it just locks Joppa up so that Trinket can advance forward. And as soon as those 2 members aren't able to put down any meaningful damage, the rest of this dive here doesn't matter.
And Death Cap finished up for Monrobo. Can we see his AP right now? Because he's got to be scary.
Yeah, 700.
Give me a guess. Give me a guess
and
before
750. 750 at least.
750. Let's see.
At least. Actually, no, it could be 650, like 658, something like that. Something really silly. That's my guess. 650.
He's toying with us. He's going to base. He's going to buy.
Oh, waiting for the base. Okay. Wait for the base.
Okay.
What's that? All right.
Come on, Observer. 739. That's a lot of AP. He's about to hit level 16 as well. So his Primordial Burst is going to do even more damage.
Yes. Veigar getting to a point in time where he is just going to blow whoever he finds up as a, well...
Questionable Moonfall.
Yeah. Just an attempt on the side. You can kind of get it from MNM as they're slowly... I say slowly, they've lost control of this game.
Yeah, they have.
To be honest with you.
Running around the map trying to find kills, trying to find anything, but they're just not able to do so as Massive Wave's just going to crash into this mid wave and tower should be defended by Joppa in time, but the top lane tower, that's not going to be the case. As actually, the tower did go down to the wave, so Joppa wasn't there in time. And, you know, they lose their mid tower, they lose their top tower. The gold lead now swung in favor of Lucent. The team who are the lowest in the standings, the team who are facing relegations, are currently in charge of this game versus the top dogs here at the UKLC. Teleports are coming in. We're looking for a fight. Aragon popped the Dominus. He's been found by Trinket, though. And Monrobo can't put the cage in the right place. There's the Cosmic Radiance. Joppa free firing away, but that is going to be the end of the Crocodile. Clocks is dead. Double kill picked up by Trinket.
I think Lucent are going to win this game. If they keep on playing the way they are right now, MNM, they just don't really look like they have anywhere they can reasonably attack or meaningfully attack. Lucent in full control. I mean, you know, we've joked about Lucent as a team so far this split because they've given us reasons to joke about them. But right now, I mean, you know, you still have to put a little bit of respect on the name. This is the team that did manage to take down Resolve Academy as well. And I mean, looking to claim another top name in MNM, keep the race at the top very, very tight if it does end up being a Lucent win. I mean, what a win it would be for Lucent, keeping the relegation race so close.
If they honestly keep on this form and they beat MNM, they might not even have to think about relegations. They could genuinely climb into a middle spot. I don't know if top 4 is achievable for them. I'll have to run the maths, but you know, if they don't drop a single game and they start beating all of these teams above, they could really close that gap.
It would be tough. I think if they were to win this game, they would only have 5 games remaining. 4 games.
4 games remaining. They're kind of, I think if they win this game, they go 3-7.
Yeah, typically 7 in the last couple of splits hasn't been a good number for making it into playoffs. It's typically been about 8. Obviously in summer of last year is also 9 wins, so it's going to be tough. But, you know, it's not necessarily out of the question. I mean, you pick up a win against a team like MNM in the UKLC.
How do you check this Baron though?
Yeah,
Dragon's been secured. They don't have their AD. They don't have their jungler about this. Ultimate's going to get blocked out by Sotsy, and Van Gogh now caught out in the event horizon, and Wardhop's going to go down, and that's it. Sotsy might find himself in a bit of trouble, but Clocks can't actually pop his spell shield without using multiple spells and get the CC. So Joppa will take the mid-tier 2. There's a massive wave in the bot side end. Lucent just got their 2nd Baron of this game versus MNM.
Certainly not the kind of game we were expecting coming into it. As you start to wonder, what exactly was it in this game? Disrespect, a little bit of complacency once they had the lead. from the M&M point of view, if you're Lucent, you certainly don't care when you've got a lead like this. Fighting to remain in the UKLC. And I mean, certainly for a team recently promoted, it's one of the worst things in sports in general, not just esports. Immediately promote just to get relegated. It's not a nice feeling. All the hard work of the previous split feels like it goes to waste in the next. So picking up wins wherever you can at this point. So pivotal.
But it also kind of harks back to, you know, our major criticism of MNM. They picked a comp that needed to play aggressive early, and they did do a good job of that. As Gad, once again, is locked down, has to stop watching the middle of everyone. The Cosmic Radiance is going to deny him from the Moonfall, and they're going to continue the chase on. Clocks has to jump away. They use the deck charge. Now this could be that turnaround. The Moonfall hits no one, and that is going to be all she wrote on that one.
Yeah, again, MNM, you know, their only true source of hard engage is that Lawless, and they've not been able to find good angles, good targets on a consistent basis for a little while now. Joppa's damage time to back up a bit on some of the frontliners.
Oh, the cage. That's the end of days. Vango can't even get in. There's a lot of damage coming in from Trinket as they're trying to get the kill onto Joppa. He flashes away, but the fight is breaking out on the other side. Little Pants takes out Vango. And 2 kills picked up from Monrobo in the middle of all of that.
Divers just can't do anything. They just get blown up by this Veigar. And he didn't even use his ultimate to remove any of these members. So now he's got it for Joppa. Joppa doesn't have flash, so if they just make an aggressive move on him, he can just die to some of this burst. And they're on the Nexus tower.
They're looking for the jump in. They haven't actually been able to catch up to Joppa yet, but he's kiting away, trying to get the damage on Little Pants. Gets reset. The Primordial Burst will shut him down as Lucent take out MNM.
Honestly, Lucent, props to you, the team that is consistently kind of just ignored at the moment, it feels, in the UKLC by a lot of the other teams. Just a bit of a rollover team in a lot of cases. Pick up a win against MNM, and I mean, we saw them do it against Resolve Academy. We just thought, all right, maybe a one-off. They've done it again against MNM. It seems like if the pressure is just off because they're against some of these top-end teams, they just come out, they perform, they play their game, and they do a damn good job of it. And I mean, again, such an important win when you think about Envision were the ones that picked up that Bulldog win. And that meant that it was Bulldog, Envision, and technically Viperia, because they lost their game earlier today, all 2 wins ahead of Lucent. Now it's only a 1-game gap. So let's see what Lucent can do, because honestly, if we see some of these more wacky picks played in a more disciplined manner like what we saw today, there's room for these guys to actually pick up a couple more wins, avoid relegations. And, you know, if the stars align, playoffs at 4th place is honestly very much a possibility.
Looking like a incredibly good team now, Lucent. Honestly, turning stuff around. And M&M, bit of questions asked there. They are the top team, and they got manhandled, to be honest. Like, they had a good start, and it still didn't work out for them. It wasn't enough. Anyway, time for us to throw to a break. When we're back, we'll have a little chat with Tibbs, the coach from the side of Lucent. So we'll see you in a moment.